Hello One Piece enthusiasts, I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about One Piece chapter 1105. This chapter is very lackluster considering all of the Straw Hats are now in very different places, fighting different people. Luffy is of course now filled and is is definitely stuck in between all of the Marines that will probably have to take him down, but of course Luffy will definitely come back. Kuma and Vegapunk on the other hand are dealing with Saturn and Kizaru, of course, and the other hand, of course, Zoro's fighting with Lucci, Sanji's fighting off against a bunch of other people, definitely Marines, high-level Marines I'd expect, and the rest of them are trying to make their way to the Lava Shredder so that they could get out of Egghead Island alive. With that being said, Jinbei has been sent with Zoro to find Zoro to make sure he doesn't get lost after his battle with Lucci, and that is to be expected. Other than that, we've got a few exciting events coming up for the chapter. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe, it helps the channel out a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. Well, in all honesty, this is Ohara back-to-back. The normal admirals, or admirals below vice admiral level, were sent to go back probably because of safety, because the pacifistas are now being enabled for the fight, and I think this is going to be a very bloody battle. And to be completely honest, I'm not really sure what the government is trying to do, other than just blowing Egghead to smithereens. I know their ultimate goal is inevitably to basically assassinate Vegapunk and be done with it. Other than that, I would think that they expected to keep everything in Egghead Island to be sort of safe for use for the world government, to make sure they have the equipments and the advanced equipments so that other scientists can use them. I'm not really sure what their point is with the Buster Call, but it's going to happen regardless. I don't know what backup plan they have, but I think the world government right now is trying to let go of the progression. Yes, the progression to an extent is very good for them, and I think if they do have the pacifistas, of course the pacifistas and of course the Seraphim, if they have them, that'll be enough to basically hold off normal pirates around the world. I don't think they'll be needing anything more than that, and of course other than doing the Mother Flame, which I have no idea how they're gonna get back into usage, but I can see their point is basically to destroy everything in Egghead Island so that no evidence of Vegapunk's research is to be found in the future. But that's pretty much it. I don't really see anything happening. And the second most mentionable thing in this chapter is of course Kizaru doing what he's doing. Last chapter I talked about, even people in other channels talked about how Kizaru is being so confused about what he should do, whether or not he should be on the side of Saturn or whether or not he should be fighting for Vegapunk, because of course he has feelings. We've been going on this and on and off about this over the last 3, 4, 5 chapters ago. Ever since we got to know the history of Kuma, Vegapunk, and Kizaru together, we know they have some kind of a bond, but Kizaru at the end of the day, ultimately right now, is deciding to fight with Saturn or against Vegapunk, even though he doesn't really want to. So I can see this going both ways, but I think I have a future video planned for that as well. This chapter makes it even more unclear as to what Kizaru wants out of this, but it's very clear even until this point, is that Kizaru has to listen to whatever Saturn will say, and that is it for now. Other than that, the end of the chapter being probably the most mind-boggling question to be answered is who is coming to Egghead Island. We have intruders, of course. We have already 2 factions into play, which are the Marines and of course the Straw Hats. 3 factions if you have been careful enough to consider that the Blackbeard Pirates, one of the ships of the Blackbeard Pirates, most likely Carolina Devon and Lafitte, is going to show up on Egghead Island, or they're presumably already here. And hey, remember how Van Hogger was fighting with the Blackbeard Pirates, and they were making their way to Whole Cake Island to capture Pudding, and then Blackbeard was fighting against Law, and Van Hogger made it there in time, and Aokiji went back to Hachinosu to make it in time to fight against Garp. I think I have no idea how Van Ugor's Rap Rap Fruit works, but it's entirely possible that I would say 3 to 4 Blackbeard pirates are, aside from Lafitte and Devon, is still there, but I find it hard to believe that Blackbeard would send like an armada or even like a handful of men to fight off against the Straw Hats, considering I don't think this is really what Blackbeard is planning. I think he's trying to gain something from all of the conflict, which is of course debatable. I will definitely speculate on a video what Blackbeard wants, but other than that, there are people coming other than the two, which being some of the prime members are the Revolutionary Army, being the most obvious probably, the Grand Fleet, the Red Hair Pirates, even the Blackbeard Pirates. We've already got teasings of the chapter, we've already got teasings of what is to come, that it's very unexpected. Now, other than these 4 factions, I don't see anything being unexpected. I could see these being the Cross Guild, of course. I would put it out there that if we're talking about pure unexpected events, I would say Cross Guild is the most obvious, because they are definitely not what anyone is expecting right now, but I don't know how. I don't see how it's fitting for Buggy and Crocodile and Mihawk to go to Egghead Island and, fight off against Luffy for what I have no idea about. I mean, yes, they do have the poneglyphs. The Straw Hats do have the poneglyphs, but other than that, I don't see it being anybody else. One other possibility that I could definitely see happening is probably Law. Like, if it was Law and Beppo by themselves, of course, remember, the pronouns that were used for the intruders or the people that destroyed a ship that was going to be sailing away, which included survivors. Remember, of course, within the chapter, that Saturn ordered for the evacuated ship to be destroyed so that no remittances of Vegapunk's researchers to be getting outside of Egghead Island, which is sort of the same case with what happened with Ohara and what Akainu did with the ship that were with the surviving members. Aside from that, really, I don't really see it being Law, because Law doesn't have his crew, and if it was Law, I would think that the Marines would call them as him because it isn't Law's ship. Law's ship probably isn't with him, but it also could be with him. But it also makes me suggest that why would he want to take down a Marine ship in order to try to save a ship that is, off survivors? Like, yeah, it makes sense. It could be Law that he has the ship, but Beppo was swimming with Law. I don't really think they could get the ship back, and Law is in terrible condition. I don't see that happening as well. So these are my only guesses thus far. Everyone else, I have no idea what is going to happen. I don't expect anyone. I do maybe expect Shanks. If it is going to be unexpected, that it might just be Shanks, because we're not expecting Luffy and Shanks to meet up now. It seems inevitable, but for now, that is all the guesses I can have. If I have time, I will definitely make a further, more detailed explanation as to who I expect. But that is it for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Is it Law? Is it Shanks? Who is it? And, what about Kizaru? The guy's acting very weird. Let me know what you guys think. That is it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.